All right, y'all, it's time to get into our top 20 fantasy wide receivers for 2024. This should be an exciting list. Got a lot of changing going around. Can't wait to get into it. Coming here at number 1, there's no changes whatsoever. We're talking about CeeDee Lamb, the wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. As of the recording of right now, they didn't get no contract extension or anything for CeeDee Lamb, but I think it's all going to be all good to go. At the end of the day, CeeDee Lamb will be a Dallas Cowboy. He'll be there attached to Dak Prescott and be the main benefactor of this offense and this passing attack. There's no running game there for the Dallas Cowboys, and they're going to be throwing the ball quite a bit. And the one person that Dak Prescott looks for all the time, that is CeeDee Lamb. Now, CeeDee Lamb should be able to produce for you at a high level. I have no problems with anybody taking like a Jamar Chase or Tyreek Hill above him. But for me, CeeDee Lamb is clearly the number 1 guy. Set it and forget it. There it is. Coming here at number 2, we're going over Tyreek Hill. He stayed here at my number 2 as well. He could just give you so many boom games, it's not even funny. This guy can give you 20, 30, 40 fantasy points and more on any given week. He can bust you out an 85-yard touchdown pass with no problems. He can sit there and jog and probably pass most of the defensive backs in the NFL. He is just so fast and so electric. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. Tyreek Hill is phenomenal. He's going to put up some solid numbers yet again in 2024. I know he said just a couple of years ago, he was talking about, talking about retiring. He's not retiring. This dude's a beast, and he's way too competitive for that. So I still like Tyreek Hill. I think it's a fine opportunity. So moving on here to the next guy, we're going over Jamar Chase. He jumped up 2 spots here. I'm really starting to like Jamar Chase. The more I think of it, the more I know he's back from injury. He's not coming into the season being injured. He's got a healthy Joe Burrow as well. They lost Joe Mixon. They're going to be throwing the football. T. Higgins, he wants out of there. The focal point is on Jamar Chase. They're not worried about T. Higgins anymore. He's out of the door anyway. They're not going to make T. Higgins happy. They want to make Jamar Chase happy. And I'm telling you, he could have a crazy year. He's just dropping a little bit ADP right now because they're looking at last season. Don't worry about last season. That's over with. It's a brand new season. They're going to focus on Jamar Chase and get him the football. I like him here at number 3. Coming in at number 4, dropped him back a space because I had to jump Jamar Chase way up here. That's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Got such a high fantasy floor. I love watching this guy play football. I think that if you want some solid fantasy football points, week in and week out, you cannot go wrong with Amon-Ra St. Brown. He can produce for you at a high level. I love watching the guy play football. It's almost impossible to guard the guy, and Jared Goff is locked in on Amon-Ra St. Brown. So easily number 4 for me, set it and forget it type of wide receiver. You can't argue with anybody in this top 5, right? Then I got my number 5 here. He dropped down a spot as well because I had to drop Jamar Chase up there, but that's Justin Jefferson. Yes, he's at the bottom of my top 5. Mostly because I don't know what's at the quarterback position. No more Kirk Cousins. But we did see when Kirk Cousins was injured and out of there, he still was producing at a high level. My thing is that season long, right? Is he going to be able to produce at a high level to Sam Darnold and JJ McCarthy? Well, we have to just wait and see what's going to happen. We're not sure what's going to come about that. We have no idea, but I'm willing to bet that I think Justin Jefferson will be just fine without him. That's why I have him here at number 5. Coming here at number 6, somebody didn't change much. We're talking A.J. Brown. Now, he's a wide receiver that's very good friends with his quarterback in Jalen Hurts, and he's producing at a high level. And when he doesn't produce, when he's not getting the football, he will go on the sideline. He will yell at Jalen Hurts, says, "Get me the football." So, either way it goes, you're going to get good production when you have A.J. Brown on the field. He's a wide receiver that can be really consistent for you. Yeah, there's a couple down weeks because you got Devontae Smith over there that also needs to eat. So he's not the lone number 1 guy like most of these guys on this list. He does have somebody he shares a field with, and I think Devonta Smith is good enough to warrant some type of pass catching duties, and that's what happens to A.J. Brown sometimes. So moving along here at number 7, I've got Garrett Wilson. He's still there. I think with a healthy Aaron Rodgers, something God forbid happened to Aaron Rodgers, I would have to drop Garrett Wilson onto my list. But as of right now, with a healthy Aaron Rodgers, I think Garrett Wilson will go nuclear this year. A lot of people aren't thinking him as highly as I am right now. I'm liking me some Garrett Wilson. And I think he can provide some really solid opportunities for your fantasy team because you can get him at a discount as of right now. If he performs the way that I think he's going to perform next year, he's going to be in the middle of the first round type of wide receiver. He's going to be talking up there, maybe even with the top 5 up there. Maybe with your Amon-Ra St. Browns and Justin Jeffersons. He can be that good, guys. He is an absolute difference maker, and I easily have him here at number 7. Now, coming at number 8 is going to be a rookie here, and I had to move him up just 1 spot. That's Marvin Marvin Harrison Jr., his work ethic, what he does there, the way he catches the football, he is going to be the main focal point for this Cardinals offense. And Kyler Murray, I think it's just a match made in heaven. Somebody that you can really see coming out and producing some solid numbers, easily over 1,000 yards for me. I like Marvin Harrison being a focal point. Now, I would much rather have Marvin Harrison as your second wide receiver and not necessarily as your wide receiver one, but in most cases, you're probably going to get him as your wide receiver one. I see Marvin Harrison dropping to the early second round. So if you start the draft maybe with wide receiver, with Marvin Harrison as your second wide receiver, I would like that way better than having a rookie kind of anchoring down your number one spot. But I still got to put him here at number 8 because I think he's going to get the ball quite a bit, and he's going to be a very good fantasy football player for you. So easy number 8 for me. Coming in at number 9, dropping yet another spot for me. We're going to Puka Nacua, and the more I think about it, the more I'm liking Cooper Kupp, the less I'm liking Puka Nacua, guys. We know there's regression coming. Puka Nacua will not repeat what he did in his rookie season. I'm saying it right now, whether it's a bold take or not, I don't care what all you guys are coming into my comment section saying how much hate I have for Puka Nacua. There's no hate for Puka Nacua. I think he's a good wide receiver. He's just not a wide receiver based on where you guys are drafting him right now. He's being drafted way too high, when I even think this year Cooper Kupp may even outplay Puka Nacua. So our rankings, as we go through this offseason, you may see in my rankings Cooper Kupp even pass up Puka Nacua. We're just going to have to wait and see. Coming here at number 10, somebody who jumped up a spot with all the news of the trade. He wants to be traded away in Ayuk. We got to talk about Deebo Samuel. I think if Ayuk is gone, we're going to see Pearsall roll into that number 2 spot, and you're going to see Deebo Samuel once again be a fantasy football stud. I'm excited to see what's going to happen in this offseason. Does Ayuk come back with the 49ers? Does he get traded away? Who do they get traded for? Do they bring in another wide receiver on the opposite side of Deebo Samuel? Or what happens? I don't know. This is going to be intriguing. But after the recording of this video, Ayuk is still in the 49ers, but he did request to be traded. So we don't know. Had to put Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel up 1, get into my top 10, because I really like what I see from Deebo Samuel. I think he gets back to what he did last year. He gets such a high floor because he gets so many rushing opportunities. I like Deebo Samuel this year. Coming in at number 11, somebody who jumped up 5 spots for me, and I have to go Davante Adams. I just think the more and more I think about it, doesn't matter if Aiden O'Connell's going to be the quarterback or Gardner Minshew, they are going to hone in on that wide receiver 1, and that is Davante Adams. He's got the skill to be great, and I think he's going to show it for the Raiders. So I think if you're looking for somebody who you could probably get sometime, maybe early second round, late second round, I think Davante Adams is a great position for you to have as your second wide receiver. We all know he has the skill. He has the opportunity to do it. And I know recently he actually said the only quarterback that I want to be matched up with again, if I had to do reunion, it would be Aaron Rodgers and going over there with the Jets. But I think that would hurt Garrett Wilson's value a little bit too much. So I hope that doesn't happen. But Davante Adams had to move him way up here at number 11 for me. I like what I see. Coming in number 12, somebody who jumped up 1 spot for me, I'm having to say Chris Olave. We have to remember how good this offensive line got in the offseason. They upgraded quite a bit. So now Derek Carr's going to have plenty of opportunities and enough time to throw the football. I think he was just kind of fading things up in the air because he was getting the pass rush so bad. Now they're going to have time for Chris Olave to work. He's a good route runner. I think he's going to be able to get open. If the connection really gets where I think it's going to get with Chris Olave, you should see a nice rebound year from this guy. We have to remember not too long ago, it was Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and Jason over there with Ohio State, and they were all balling out. Chris Olave has a lot of talent. People are sleeping on him. I easily have him here at number 12. And coming at number 13, somebody I dropped about 3 spots. That's Drake London. Yes, I do think that he's going to do a lot better. His first 1,000-yard receiving year of his career. All's going to happen this year with Kirk Cousins. But now that I'm starting to really dive into this, right, and you're kind of thinking about, okay, Kyle Pitts is now going to be moving out to the wide receiver position as well, working wide receiver / tight end. You still got Bijan Robinson there. There's just a plethora of weapons out there that needs to get involved, right? So yes, while I do think over 1,000 yards is going to happen for Drake London, I got to reel back my expectations a little bit. I think he was up there in the top 10 easily. The last time we did the rankings, I had to reel him outside of the top 10 just because I think there's so many weapons that need to get fed. I think Drake London is not going to have a 1,500-yard season, more like maybe 1,100 at best, right? So I had to put him here at number 13 for me. Coming at number 14, a wide receiver I jumped up 5 spots, mostly because of his touchdown I think the touchdowns can happen really good for DK Metcalf, guys. So DK Metcalf is somebody that, even though you have JSN who should get more involved, we still got Tyler Lockett who can go deep. DK Metcalf's a monster. He's the physical specimen who has a lot of touchdown upside. I think he's going to get, that's where his fantasy value is going to come this season. I think he's going to catch plenty of touchdowns, and it's really going to make your team special. So if you have an opportunity to grab yourself some DK Metcalf, go out there and get the guy. I don't think you'll be upset that you did. All right, so coming in at number 15, somebody had to drop back 3 spots. We're talking about Brandon Ayuk, and let me give you a couple explanations of why I have Brandon Ayuk so low at number 15 in my rankings. Number 1, he requested a trade. Number 2, who knows what team he's going to end up on if he does get traded, right? Is he going to go somewhere that doesn't have a good quarterback? Does he go to the Patriots? That would plummet his rankings, right? If he stays on the 49ers, there's going to be regression. He had a great breakout campaign last season. That's why he's got this thing in his head where he deserves to be paid so much money when he absolutely doesn't. I just don't think you're gonna get what you got last year. You're gonna sit there and buy the pie. I think you're getting a nice juicy apple pie. You end up getting it home and it's like a cock-a-doodle pie. You know what I mean? So it's not gonna be what you think it is. He's a good wide receiver. I get it. He's not a great wide receiver, in my opinion. Moving right along here at number 16, somebody dropped a couple spots for me. I'm talking about Michael Pittman Jr., the wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts. He's the number 1 right there for a healthy AR this season. And if AR comes out and he starts slinging the football, Michael Pittman will be the benefactor of that. Somebody who has a very high floor for you. So if you're looking at half PPR, full PPR, Michael Pittman Jr. could be a really good piece for you to have, especially if you could tag him up there with AR. I think that's a good combo to have. So easily had to put him here at number 16 for me. Coming here at number 17, another wide receiver, drop back just a couple spots here. That's Mike Evans. I do think he gets over 1,000 yards receiving again. Of course he does. He does every single season. Let's see, Baker Mayfield looks for him all the time. He just kind of throws the football up. Mike Evans he's able to high point the football and come down with it. So I think overall Mike Evans getting a little more, a little more age to him, right? Let's just be honest. Got to call a spade a spade. He's not the springest chicken you can ever think of. So he's not going to obviously be up there in the top 10 anymore in my rankings, but Mike Evans can still give you consistency week in and week out, give you some good numbers. Easily here at number 17, nothing bad to say about the guy, but he's just not that spectacular wide receiver that we're used to him being. He's just an older wide receiver that can get you really solid numbers. So coming here at number 18, somebody didn't change in my rankings. It's going to be Nico Collins again. Nico again would have been way higher than on my rankings, but I just think that Stephon Diggs is going to take enough of his workload to where he's not one of those top 15 wide receivers anymore. CJ Stroud has so many pieces he has to get the football to. It's going to be frustrating. There's going to be some weeks where Nico Collins is going absolute bananas. There's going to be other weeks where he's going to take a step back because the other wide receivers are going bananas. It's going to be an absolute headache for the entire season for you to sit there and look at, hey, which week do I need to start Nico Collins? Because you're not going to know. All right, so easily at number 18 for me. Coming in at number 19, a new wide receiver on this list. I talked about him a little bit earlier. I'm talking about Cooper Kupp here. I think he's gonna be good this year, right? Coming in here healthy, he's got something to prove. It was just not that long. He was on the top of the world. Right now, he's at the back end of my top 20 rankings. He's not gonna be happy that he's not viewed as a top guy anymore. And I think he wants to show that he's gonna be the man. I think that he could do better than Puka this year. Obviously, we have to have Puka ranked as of right now. He's the young guy. He's the dude with the more energy right now. We don't know what we're going to get out of Cooper Kupp, but I think we're going to get way better than what people expect. You can get him at a discount right now, most likely maybe in the 3rd or 4th round. Grab yourself some Cooper Kupp. Be happy that you have him on your team, and he should be able to produce for you at a high level. So I like it because I think him and Matthew Stafford, if they get on the same page, it's going to be scary. We already know what they can do. Let's see what happens in 2024. Easily at number 19 for me. And coming in at number 20, had to put in my top 20 because I absolutely love George Pickens and what he can give to your fantasy team. He is a nuclear weapon waiting to go off at any given game. He can throw the bombs down the field. I'm telling you, I think that he got an upgraded quarterback, right? Had some cockadoodle back there with Kenny Pickett and all these other guys. Now he gets Russell Wilson, somebody who's able to deliver the football to him. I love this. I think Russell Wilson stays the quarterback for the entire season and shows everybody why everybody should missed up on Pickens. You guys should have drafted him a lot earlier. I'm going to have him on as many teams as I possibly can. But guys, that takes over for my top my top 20 wide receivers. Love what we're doing here. Make sure you guys are hitting the subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button and leave a comment down below. Which wide receiver did I leave out of the top 20 that you guys think should be in the top 20? I'm really curious to see. Again, most of you guys aren't subscribed that are watching this video, so it really helps out. If you're not subscribed, take a couple seconds, smash that subscribe button. We're pumping out multiple videos each and every week, leading all the way up into your fantasy football drafts to help you best dominate your football leagues and then ultimately raise that trophy and become a champion. Guys, I can't wait to see you guys on the next video. We'll see you guys next time.